Look how these came out. Hello lovely people, welcome to my channel. I just want to wish you a happy new year. My name is Elsa and I'm Mexican Keto Journey on Instagram, and I invite you to follow me there as I do post my daily meals and anything having to do with my keto life. For today's video, we're going to make champurrado in a keto friendly version and pumpkin empanadas. I have a sweet tooth, so I am super excited to make this video for you guys today, and I hope that you guys make this recipe and enjoy it as much as I know I will enjoy it. Champurrado is a thick, chocolatey Mexican drink that is served warm during the fall and winter season, but can be enjoyed throughout the entire year as well. And it's gonna go perfect with our pumpkin empanadas. So let's get started on today's video. We will first start with empanadas, and while they bake, we will start on the champurrado so that they both can come out at the same time and we can enjoy both of them together. And here are the ingredients that you will need for the empanadas. You're going to need 2 3/4 cup of almond flour. You're going to need 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, 4 ounces of cream cheese, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 1 cup pumpkin puree. Make sure it is 100% pure, no added sugars. It should be just the pumpkin itself. We're going to need 1 teaspoon divided of ground cinnamon. Some will be for the filling and some will be for the dough. We need 1/8. We will need a sweetener, preferably a brown sugar replacement, but if you do not have it, if you do not want to go get it or look for it, regular sweetener is okay. We will need 1/3 cup for the filling and 1/4 cup for the dough. We will need parchment paper, and we will need a tortilla press, but that again is optional as well. If you do not have a tortilla press, which is this thing here, this is going to be used to make the rounds for the empanadas. If you do not have a tortilla press and you do not want to get it, a regular rolling pin is perfect. It's fine. Will do the job perfectly. We are first going to start with the empanadas. And the first step to making the empanadas is to make the filling. Here I have 1 cup of pumpkin puree. I have 1/3 cup of brown sugar. I am using the brand Swerve. Now remember, if you do not have brown sugar, you can use your regular sweetener that you use for your baked goods or for your everyday cooking. I have 1/8 teaspoon of pumpkin spice, and I have 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to combine all these ingredients in the saucepan. It would help if I turn it on first. We're going to put it in medium heat. Give it a good mix and just let it start cooking. Earlier I said medium heat, but it is actually low medium heat so that it doesn't burn. Step 2 is to prepare the dough. So meanwhile this continues to cook on low heat, we're going to gather the ingredients for the dough. Here we have 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, 4 ounces of cream cheese, we have an egg, we have 2 3/4 cup almond flour, 1/4 cup brown sugar. Again, if you do not have the brown sugar replacement, you can use your regular sweetener that you use on a daily basis. We also have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. We're going to microwave this for 30 seconds. We're going to take it out, stir it, and then microwave it again for another 30 seconds. We're going to mix this. We do need to be a little bit quick because if not, it turns into a huge mess. While that microwaves, we're going to mix the dry ingredients. Combine them really good. This brown sugar is not having it right now. Maybe it's the whisk. I try to get a nice fancy whisk, but not cutting it either. Should just use my regular whisk. So yes, I changed to my normal whisk. Not trying to be fancy anymore, and that did the job. After it came off in the microwave, for the additional 30 seconds, it still looks a little bit lumpy, so I will microwave it again and see how it looks after that. Okay, I did microwave it for an additional 15 seconds and that looks better. It's nice and stretchy. So now we are going to add the dry ingredients and we are going to add the egg. So after what seems like forever of folding in the ingredients to get the dough, with my sore arms I present to you the empanada dough. I already tasted it and it tastes really good. Okay, we are in step 3. Step 3 is to make the rounds and fill them up and bake them. I am using the tortilla press. I did put the parchment paper and then the round on top, so that we're going to close it and press it. If you do not have a tortilla press, any baking pin will do. You just have to put the round in between 2 parchment papers like this and roll it. Okay, let's get started. This is about how big the ball of dough is. We're going to press it with a tortilla press. Make sure you have the parchment paper, if not it will stick to your tortilla press or to your roller. Oh, nice and big. We're going to fill it up. I am going to be adding 2 tablespoons of filling. I don't want it to be squirting out. Okay. You can get a scrap of parchment paper. Sorry for all this racket. You can get a scrap of parchment paper and use it to close the edges. So like that your hands won't get all sticky and stuck to the dough because it is very sticky. Then you're going to fold in the edges. Just fold it in. And there you have it. Your first empanada is done. We're going to put that on the baking tray that has a parchment sheet of paper on it already. And that is what we will continue to do for the rest of the dough. Okay, I have finished filling the empanadas and I am ready to bake them. I was able to make 7 large empanadas. You could easily make double that if you make them smaller, and to fit your macros better, to be honest with you. So now it's time to put them in the oven. Remember, we preheated the oven at 350 and we're going to bake these for 30 minutes. And these are the ingredients that you will need for the champurrado. Not pictured, we have a cup of water, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. I am using unsweetened vanilla only because that is what I have in my fridge. This is what we use on a daily basis. The recipe calls for unsweetened almond milk. If you wish to use a vanilla one, then you can use vanilla one. 2 tablespoons heavy whipping cream, 2 tablespoons coconut flour, 2 to 4 tablespoons sweetener of your choice. I am using Swerve, and I don't use the confectioners, but since it is in my everyday container, sugar container, I am showing you this one just to show you the brand that I do use. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons, but if at the end you feel that you want to add more, you can add a tablespoon at a time and taste it and see how you like it. 1 cinnamon stick, 2 tablespoons of cocoa, and again, this is to your liking. I myself will be adding the 2 tablespoons because I am a chocolate lover, but you can start off with 1 tablespoon, and then if at the end you want to add more, you can add the other tablespoon and mix it well. And we will be using 1/4 teaspoon of salim husk. Now, if you do not have this in your pantry available, or if you don't want to get it but if you're having a hard time finding it, you can just use xanthan gum. 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. The salim husk will give the champurrado a grainy texture. Champurrado is a little bit grainy because it is made with flour. So this will give it more of that grainy texture as well. So you can add this if you want that grainy texture, or you can just add xanthan gum if you wanted a smoother texture. The water has now been boiling for about 5 minutes, and in a little bit we'll be adding the almond milk, which is 1 cup of almond milk, 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, and then in a separate container we have 2 tablespoons coconut flour, 1/4 cup sweetener, 2 tablespoons cocoa. For the cocoa, you can start with 1 tablespoon if you don't want it to be very chocolatey, but I'm a chocolate lover, so I will be adding the 2 tablespoons. If you decide that you want more chocolate flavor to it, you can add it at the end. And we have 1/4 teaspoon of salim husk. If you do not have the salim husk, you can add xanthan gum. 1/4 teaspoon xanthan gum. Now, the salim husk does give it a grainy texture, so you do not want the grainy texture at all. Then you're going to add the xanthan gum to give it a smoother texture. I'm going to add the milk, the heavy whipping cream, give it a stir. Meanwhile, we're going to mix the dry ingredients. And you're going to add them gradually to the pan as you continue to whisk. You're going to continue to whisk, and you're going to see it thicken. If you're doing this in a smaller saucepan, do not allow it to boil over. See how it is now boiling? Do not allow it to boil over. You can lower the heat. I did have it on medium-high heat. I have now lowered it to low-medium heat. And you can see that it's starting to thicken. Okay, I did get a little bit so I can taste it to see if it needs more sweetener. Since I do have a sweet tooth, I do prefer things sweeter. But this came out perfect for me. So you would have to taste it to see if this is the way you like it, or you can add just a little bit more sweetener. Also, as it cools down, it's going to thicken up just a little bit more. If you want it more of a thinner consistency, you can add a little bit more of almond milk. But this is it. I'm going to let it cool for a little bit. I am going to take out the empanadas from the oven because there is a minute to go, and we'll let all that cool. But first, there's one final step for the empanadas. The empanadas are now out, and look how beautiful these look. They have a nice golden color to it. This corner did get burned a little bit, but that is fine. That is perfect. We have the final step for the empanadas, and here we have some melted butter and a combined half teaspoon of sweetener and half teaspoon of cinnamon, because we're going to top our empanadas with that. First, we're going to brush some melted butter over the empanadas, and then we will top it off with our sweet combo. I will do the same thing to all of them, and this just smells so good. I can't wait to taste it. Look how these came out. Look how good that looks, guys. They're nice and soft, with a good amount of filling inside. So there you have it, lovely people. Keto pumpkin empanadas and keto champurrado. This is a perfect combination for this fall and winter weather. So go ahead and make this and just enjoy it. Just enjoy this non-guilty indulgence. And when you make the recipe, please let me know, as I do like to receive the pictures that you have been sending me and the messages that you have been sending me of the creations that you have been making. So thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.